Okay, welcome back to Cooking with MrDan. Today we're going to be making us one of my all-time favorite Chinese foods, and that's Moo Goo Gai Pan. I was trying to clean out the refrigerator, so I might have added a couple extra ingredients. But it's a quick and easy recipe. It takes you about 15 minutes to put all the stuff together, and then just about that long to cook it. So you can have this ready before you can go pick it, go pick it up and come back and plate it. It'll be done already. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so you can see there in the left side of the corner, that's my knife sharpener. I sharpen it, like I said, every time. There's my chicken. But anyway, you got to have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of white pepper, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and about a teaspoon or so of oil. And you got the star of the show is that chopped up chicken I did there, 1 egg, and I got a piece of chicken left. I'm going to show you how I sliced it. Okay, so we have a chicken breast, okay? You know how they come. So what I did was I sliced it long ways, and then I took the little piece, each piece, it was one on each side, and I took it, I'm slicing across the grain, and I'm cutting it on a bias or an angle, just like that. And we got all the chicken just like this, okay? So now, what we want to do is we want to take a bowl, and we're going to mix up our chicken. This recipe calls for 8 ounces, but I think I went a little crazy because I like the chicken part of it. I'm 100% this will work with all of the chicken I got here. I might have to add a little bit more cornstarch, but the rest of it should work. But what you do is you just take it all, put it in your mixing bowl, because you're going to mix this up real quick. Here goes your salt. You just put all the ingredients in together. Okay. Pepper. I'm going to put the egg in first. I'm just going to use the white of the egg. If I can do it again, it's only slipped out on me once. Okay, so there's that. Pretty good. Okay, then you start mixing it up a little bit with your egg white there. What you want to do is thoroughly coat the chicken, because this is what the process is called, like velveting. They call it velveting. It makes everything nice and smooth and glassy on the outside, looks like velvet, they say. I don't know. But this is what helps keep your chicken nice and moist on the inside. Then you take your cornstarch, come on out of there. And this is where you want to give, here's your oil. So all your ingredients are in. And you want to mix this until you basically don't see any white powder anywhere, but you want to try to thoroughly coat the chicken as best you can. I just love the way the chicken comes out with this recipe. It's really, it's just nice. Not hard, not soft, not well done. You can cook it and the inside is still nice and tender. It turns out pretty good. Okay, so now we got the wok. I got the wok already turned on. Just wait for it to come up to temperature. So, while we're waiting on that, I think I will bid you guys a fondue for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. As you can see, I got my oil here. Okay, that's what we want right there, sizzle. Remember, sizzle sells. And you want to throw these pieces in. I might do this in batches yet, I don't know. But you want to cook this so that it's not really brown, but you can tell when it's done. You don't want to overcook it. It'll only take you a couple minutes, basically. You notice I got 2 woks here. I'll be, the next step I'm going to do is one of these woks, I'm going to parboil, which is probably the one I'm using. I'm going to dump the oil here, but I'm going to parboil some vegetables, mushrooms and broccoli a few minutes in water just to help cook them along. But it really doesn't take that long, and it comes out really good. Penny really likes it, which I'm surprised she doesn't. When we used to get the Moo Goo Gai Pan, she really didn't eat that much of it. She usually goes for the beef and broccoli tips or whatever, beef and bell peppers. I'm going to make that too, but I've been asking her what she wants me to make for her, but she never gives me a straight up answer, so. But anyway, see, as you can see how they get a little bit on one side, so then you just flip them over and just continue to cook it until they're about like that, very light, you know, you can tell when it's cooked, okay? And these pieces aren't thick, so it doesn't take no rocket scientist. Right now I got the heat on medium, so I always say when you're cooking with a wok, you want to crank the heat up, but sometimes it's you don't want the heat all the way up. So once I finish this, we'll be back, okay? Okay, as you can see, the chicken, you see how it looks kind of velvety or shiny? That's what it's supposed to do. That's what the cornstarch does, okay? Okay, so now for the rest of the stuff, it's going to go quick once we start doing it. This is cornstarch that's going to be mixed with 2 tablespoons of water, and it's going to be put in at the end because it's going to make the nice little thickening of the gravy. This is the gravy mix. Into the gravy mix, I have 2 tablespoons of garlic, 1 cup of chicken broth, 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. That's a Japanese cooking sauce, Chinese cooking sauce. 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a pinch of white pepper, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and be light on that. And then after that, then we're going to be mixing in the cornstarch and the water. Now we'll be putting this, the gravy kind of deal, the sauce, in after we mix these other ones up. I got snow peas, some broccoli, some cut up cabbage that I only had 1/4 of a head left, so I chopped it all up. Carrots I had left over, celery, use red onion. I'm trying to get nice color scheme going here. You see I got water chestnuts in the can, the mini corn, and the other star of the show is mushrooms. Mushrooms, the Moo Goo Gai Pan is chicken and mushrooms, okay? The rest of this stuff is all added to it. Okay, into this wok, this is the cast iron wok. I'm going to be putting couple tablespoons of olive oil in there. The other wok behind you that you see steaming up, I'm going to put some broccoli and the mushrooms in there. Help cook those along because I like getting those nice and the color I like for the green, and plus soften it up a little bit. The mushrooms can cook down a little with the water. Notice I'm not frying it. And then toss in the broccoli. That's going to take a couple of minutes. So after that, now we're going to start adding stuff to this here pot, the wok. Just want to mix some of this over. And this makes a wicked noise because it's that large. Penny got this for me a few weeks back. But it's the large, and it always scrapes, it does that scraping noise, you know? Because it's rough on the inside. No matter what you do, that's the way they make them now. Because they say it takes the seasoning better. That's why it's so rough. Okay, hold on. I had to go look for my wok utensils. Anyway, so now we're ready. We're going to start adding stuff in there. We're going to throw, first and foremost, get rid of these here celery. There's that sizzle. The carrots. And this is why they call it stir fry. If you can get this thing hot enough, you're supposed to be constantly stirring so nothing gets burnt, nothing gets stuck on the bottom. Now the ones that they have in the Chinese restaurants, those things get to almost 2,000 degrees. It takes them a matter of seconds, where it's going to take us minutes to do this. They're done in like 10, 15 seconds. They're done. Okay, so now I'm going to add in some more. Let's see, what are we going to add this time? Let's add some onion, huh? And meanwhile, back at the ranch, you'll see I have my broccoli and my mushrooms. I haven't stirred them. I will in a minute. Just trying to let them, I'm going to get that. I don't want the broccoli to get too well done. Boy, this really looks good. Can you guys see this? Oh, yeah. Nice color. I like the color. Okay, now we're going to put the cabbage in. Oh well. I try to clean as I go. That's what you hear me doing now. At least I'll know where all the dishes are in the end, I hope. I'm going to let hopefully the cabbage will cook down a little. That'll give the time for the carrots to soften up. So those guys, you ever watch those guys flipping with these, they got the skillet, I mean the blade and the scoop or whatever they call it. I think they call this a hoke. I don't know. But anyway. And see, I don't want to get all my, I don't want this too well done. I don't want it all mushy. So, we're going to let this still cook a little longer. Watch out, MrDan flinging things. There he goes again. Oh. Okay, give me a couple more minutes on this and we'll be back, all right? Okay, in with my water chestnuts. The whole can's going in. Ain't that much in that rinky-dink little can anyway. Penny really likes those. And with the mini corn, I like these. I think that's why I like making this dish. I like the mini corn. Okay, so how we doing over here, huh? Doing good? You guys get all these colors that's in here? Boy, this is looking good. Let me turn this overhead light off. How's that? Does that make it a little better for you? Yeah. Now don't forget, like I said, when you're using cast iron, make sure you have a mitt handy. Don't go trying to grab that thing. That thing will be piping hot. That's number one. Number two, when you're cooking with in a wok, remember, the sides are sloped and they're hot. They're going to cook just like everything else does. Okay, hold on. Well, I just went to mix up my cornstarch slurry that we're going to be pouring in here in a bit. But now, what I want to do, I'm going to get these mushrooms going in here. So, with the help of this handy little strainer, hand strainer I guess you call it, I don't know. I use it all the time. Don't discard this water yet, because you just might need a little to add to your mix here in the pan. If you'll notice, this pan's getting heaped up just the way me and Penny like it. It's good enough for another day or two, maybe, I don't know. But we'll eat it all, no matter what. Okay, that's the end of that thing. Turn that burner off. Okay, now, if you guys could actually smell this, you'd be, oh boy. This smells so good. And you know, the funny thing is, a lot of people say, oh, Chinese food's no good. But, well, you know, actually, Chinese food's one of the healthiest you can actually eat. I mean, look at it. It's all vegetables. I put, what, a tablespoon of oil in here? Vegetable oil with that. I mean, and here, this is what we're doing to it. The chicken, yes, the chicken also got fried in a what, 2 tablespoons of oil in the pan. So without further ado, here we go with the star of the show. Actually, we're going to put this mix in first. This is making the sauce, and we're going to put that in, stir it around. The last thing you want to add is your slurry mix. You know, the cornstarch with the water, which is right here. This here, we're just going to dump it in. And that's what's going to make kind of your gravy. By the time we get done, it's going to look like a white gravy or see-through gravy, whatever. But that's after we pour the slurry in there. Things will change up a bit now. Okay, so I'm going to add some of that chicken. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to add it all. Hell, this pot will be runneth over. You know, they say your cup runneth over. But I know I'm a little heavy-handed today on my veggies, but I was trying to clean up the refrigerator. I didn't have to use a whole quarter head of cabbage. Still got my snow peas to put in. We're going to put in some of this velveted chicken. Nice. That's going to be good. Keep this here. I like the little ladle idea. This is a set, this spatula and this ladle, but it came as a set, relatively cheap on Amazon. I think they were selling one of these scoopers by itself for 20 bucks, and I got both these for less than 20, so that wasn't too bad. And they're functional. Probably ain't the greatest that you can get, but they're not the worst either. Okay, now we're going to put snow peas in. And this dish, my friends, is just about finished. Penny's outside. She wanted me to come out there, but we're not done yet, are we? We want some more cooking. That's a piece of broccoli trying to escape. Get in there. All right. So now what we have to do, this is done. Okay, now, like I said, you got your slurry mix here. There's your cornstarch and your water, and you want to try to mix it. Because what happens is if you let it sit, you know, you stir it in, but what happens is the cornstarch separates from the water, and it all clumps at the bottom. So you got to keep stirring it. See how it looks like a thing of milk, see? So we're going to just drizzle a little bit of this. And this will thicken up everything in the pot. Now notice I didn't do it all yet. Now you guys can do the same. Penny and I are going to have this over riced cauliflower, but you can have it on regular rice. You can put it on noodles. You can eat it plain. I'm going to, when I do the end of this, the taste test table, I'm just going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing anything else. All right, I'm going to add the rest of this now. I mean, as soon as it hits that, you can see, well, you wish I had a better angle, but you should see what it does instantly to the juice. Like you can see, it thickens up almost like right on time. I mean, I'm making a mess of the stove. Penny's gonna shoot me, but hey. Now, this may not look the prettiest, but here we go again. Throwing things again, MrDan. Leave it to me. That's all right. I'm good. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is get me a little bowl here. I'm just going to take a scoop out of this and bring it to the table. I didn't get no chicken that time. What's up with that? Let me get a piece of chicken. Okay. We'll see you guys at the taste test table. Okay, here we are at the taste test table. I'm going to put a little shot of soy sauce. And just to let you guys know, one little hint. Soy sauce makes things salty. Everybody knows that, right? Well, this is a lot less milligrams of salt in that little squirt than if you put a little shake on your shaker. So it's actually healthier for you to eat the soy sauce. But anyway, that was our water chestnut. That chicken is just like Chinese carryout. And the snow peas, my favorite. A nice crunch. Mushrooms. I'm telling you, you guys make this yourself. It's way better than takeout. A lot healthier. You know what's going in there. But anyway, if you enjoyed watching me make a mess on my stove, but it was well worth it with this dish that we did, give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you want to share it with your friends, family, enemies, who cares? Please do so, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, we're out before I eat the whole plate.